Alright guys, so today we're going to be checking out a brand new pair of true wireless earbuds from the company Soundcore. And the pair that we're going to check out are the Soundcore Space A40s. Now I know a lot of people are interested in Soundcore earbuds. Obviously the Liberty 3 Pros are one of the most popular pairs out there, so whenever Soundcore releases a new pair of earbuds, it usually catches a lot of attention. Now to start with, the price on these do come in at 99 bucks, and I honestly think that Soundcore is throwing basically like every feature they can in a pair under 100 bucks. Some of those features is this does have Bluetooth 5.2. It is high-res wireless audio certified because it has LDAC playback, and you usually don't see this in a pair under 100 bucks. So if you do have an Android phone that does support LDAC playback, you really are going to get a lot out of your audio. And another feature I know a lot of people are going to be interested in is this pair does have multi-point connection, so you can connect to two devices at the same time. And this is always great if you're watching a movie or doing something on your computer and a phone call comes in. You can easily switch from that device to the other without actually having to go into settings and turn things off and do everything manually. Now another big plus about this pair, and this kind of goes with a lot of Soundcore earbuds, is it works with Soundcore's app. So this is going to allow you to keep your earbuds updated. It also does a fit test to make sure that you have the right fit. It also goes through basically like a hearing test. It's what they call Hear ID. And this is their way of trying to set up an EQ setting based off your hearing preferences. And I will recommend going through this because I did notice a huge sound difference between the way that it sounded out of the box and then the way that it sounded once I went through that testing. And I do think this is kind of a marketing thing. I think they do this on purpose. I've pointed this out with the company One More. Where they make you go through these sound tests and it makes it sound significantly better. So sometimes it just feels like they're holding the sound back out of the box just so that you can think you're getting a lot out of this feature. Now also within the app, they do have different EQ settings that you can switch between on your own. And then you can also go in and customize the EQ curve and just get it to sound the way that you want. Now the LDAC playback that I mentioned earlier, you will also have to go into the app to actually turn this on. And then another huge feature, because this pair does have active noise canceling, is you can go in the app and switch around the different ANC modes. You have adaptive ANC, so it will just adjust depending on the surroundings you're in. Or you can go in manually and just switch it between high and medium to low. So I do like that there is different options within the noise canceling. And I feel like the noise canceling in this pair is doing an excellent job of blocking out your surroundings. Now I will say that it is just slightly under the Liberty 3 Pros when it comes to noise canceling, but again, because of the huge price gap, I think that's still very impressive. And same thing with the transparency mode. You do have a full mode so that you can just hear all of your surroundings. That way you're just more aware if you're out running and going to the gym and things like that. Or it also has a vocal transparency mode, which allows the earbuds to focus in on somebody talking to you. That way you could just carry on a conversation without actually having to take your earbuds out. And that's a huge plus because this pair does not have a smart sensor. So if you took your earbuds out, it's not going to pause. And once you put them back in, it's not going to play. So if you just take them out, it's just going to continue playing anyways. Now, as far as using these outdoors, like I mentioned earlier, they do come in rated with an IPX4 water resistant rating, which means it's fine against rain and sweat and splashes and things like that. And IPX4 is kind of the norm when it comes to noise canceling earbuds. So just like those pairs, you cannot submerge this pair into water. Now, as far as what all they've included inside the box, you do get 5 sets of silicone ear tips. And as far as the charging cable, it does come with a USB-C cable. But a huge plus about this pair is it does have Qi wireless charging. So you don't actually have to use that USB-C cable. It's nice that you could just come in, drop it on any wireless charger that you already have, and it will start charging. But speaking of the charging, this is another area I was very impressed with this pair. The battery life, I feel, is going to last most people through a day, because if you use these with the noise canceling off, you can get 10 hours of battery life out of the earbuds with about 50 hours using the case. And that in itself is already very impressive. But even with using these with the noise canceling on, you're still going to get 8 hours out of the earbuds and about 40 hours using the case. And I feel like the only mode that really just drains the battery life quite a bit is if you put it into LDAC mode, it brings your battery life all the way down to 6 hours with the ANC off and then 5 hours with the ANC on. And another feature that these earbuds have is a gaming mode. Now again, this is something that you would switch on inside the app, but this is also another feature that's going to pull back on your battery life. But if you're gonna be watching movies or videos and gaming while using your earbuds, this is definitely the mode you're gonna wanna use because this is gonna cut down on any kind of lag. Now moving over to looking at the case, I really like the design of the case. It has a nice matte black finish. It doesn't really pick up fingerprints, and it is a solid case. And I think that's because of the battery that it has in here. It's a lot bigger than some of the other ones. And on the back, you can see the USB-C input and your pairing button. And then around on the front, you have 3 indicator lights. And this is what allows you to gauge how much battery life is left on the case. But moving over to looking at the earbuds, I don't like the fact that they have this glossy material around the earbuds. It does show fingerprints pretty easily, but where the touch controls are located, it's actually that same matte material that's on the case, so it doesn't pick up fingerprints where you're going to be touching to use your controls. But speaking of the controls, I am happy to say that you can go in the app and switch around the controls to make sure you can control everything. Now, out of the box, it just has some random controls that I didn't like, but I did go within the app and I was able to get it to do my play, pause, skipping my tracks forward, going backwards, and also my volume control. Now I did give up the ability to switch it into noise canceling or the ambient mode, so I did have to go in the app to do that whenever I needed to. Now for you guys that do like to use your earbuds for phone calls, they are using 6 beamforming mics on these earbuds. And I think they do a very good job of picking up my voice. And because the mics are more aimed towards your mouth and trying to pick that up, these also do a very good job of blocking out your surroundings. But you guys can be a judge by listening to a test here.
So here is the mic test using the A40s. And again, I think it does a very good job picking up my voice. I do notice some digital noise and it does add a slight warmth to my voice, but this is what it would sound like if you were to take a call. And so now here is a mic test with the crowd noise being played, which you can hear here. And so this is what it would sound like if you were to take a call.
So now let's talk about the sound. Now these are using double layer diaphragm drivers, so this is different than what the Liberty 3 Pros use, but the sound EQ curve is still set up to kind of sound like the Liberty 3 Pros. The only thing that I did notice is it doesn't feel like it has as much bass impact. It feels like it hits and then it moves on. It's not like a subwoofer type bass. In fact, I don't feel like it really picks up sub bass very well, but I still found the sound to be excellent, especially if you're going to be using these with the LDAC turned on. I felt like it just picked up everything very cleanly. In fact, I was even impressed with the volume that I was getting out of these, because some of the other earbuds, when I'm using them in LDAC mode, the volume tends to kind of fall pretty low, and this pair didn't suffer from that. So I was impressed with that overall. But if you can't use these in LDAC, you're still getting a typical U-shaped consumer sound curve where the bass is bumped up a little bit. The mids were pushed slightly forward, that way you can hear vocalists clearly and different guitars and things like that. And then the treble was also boosted, but I don't feel like anything was boosted too much. It's not one of those that's boosted very high on the corners. The treble was boosted enough that all the details came out, but it's nowhere near being harsh. And another area where this benefits is the soundstage and the sound imaging, because I feel like, just like with the Liberty 3 Pros, there is a lot of space in the audio, so it sounds a lot more open than other earbuds, and I think they did a really good job with being able to tell where different sounds are coming from. So really, my overall opinion is this. I do wish that this pair had a little bit more bass, but I am a bass head. But I really feel like you're getting a lot for your money. I feel like, again, Soundcore just crammed as much as they possibly could into a pair that's under $100, where I feel like you're getting excellent active noise canceling, you're getting very impressive battery life, you're getting Qi wireless charging, and you're getting app support. And that LDAC playback, especially for people that can take advantage of it, is just a nice feature to have. So this is an easy pair to recommend if you have a $100 bill and you're just looking at true wireless earbuds. This is one of those that's gonna fall at the top of the list. I think you're getting a lot for your money, and they didn't have to sacrifice on sound quality just to throw features in there. I know some people, when they're looking at earbuds, they'll take features over sound. I personally am going to pick sound over features, and I feel like with this pair, you're kind of getting the best of both. But guys, that wraps up my video on the brand new Soundcore Space A40s. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Thank you so much for checking out all the other videos. And as always, make sure to stay tuned for more.